Hey guys, so this video might be a bit of a funny, strange video for me to make, but um, I've been thinking a lot about this over the past while. It kind of pops into my head now and again, and I want to document it, I guess, and share some of my thoughts about this idea of, how uh, we are, clearly a product of our parents. And so sometimes I feel like I will have these insights or thoughts about how the way that I'm feeling or the way that I'm generally inclined to uh, behave in my inner world is maybe not that different from the way that my mum feels and the way that her inner world is structured and the way that my dad's inner world was structured. I feel like we tend to think of our parents and the connection between our parents and ourselves oftentimes as like that we look similar. Oftentimes I've been told like, just things like you look a lot like your sister and you have a lot of similarities in the way that you look, or people hear that they look like their parents. But I feel like it's not as often talked about how we actually take like characteristics and like internal the ways that we are internally, that is not that far removed from the way that our parents are or were. So I feel like I will have these insights suddenly, and I don't know if it's misleading or if it's just how accurate it is in its entirety. But I would have these insights sometimes about like how the way that I experience the world and myself, like my inner world, my inner experience, actually seems to give hints to how my mother might be or how my dad might have been. So I feel like it's observable as well. So, in the sense that sometimes you will see ways that you behave similarly to your mum, to your dad, but I feel like I feel like it's there's so much more to it, and that it actually can give a hint as what like the way that you feel can give a hint as to how your parents felt or feel. So it's like you're a product of that. So if you want some hints as to how your parents might experience the world, look at how you experience the world, and so that can give a bit of a hint into how they might experience the world, because you literally come from them. So you're like a part of them in a way. You know what I mean. So I feel like it also is a way to have more compassion for your parents. So as I've grown a bit older, I start thinking about my parents more, and how they might actually experience the world in a similar way. So I have similar habits to my mom. There are certain things that are similar about me and my dad. Um, so it's like it gives me compassion. It helps me to evolve my compassion for them. That my inner world actually says something about, potentially says something about their inner world. So maybe they have similar struggles, similar issues, or in the case of my dad, he had similar issues. So it's kind of like it gives compassion. And I feel like also I will say, of course, that like there are people who have completely different parents in terms, or who seem to have completely different parents, in that they have very different personality styles, very different. They may even look different. So they may not relate to their parents at all. And there's certain things that I don't relate to about my mother or my father, but it's like in general, it's interesting to think about how my inner world and the way that I experience the world is actually a product of them. So maybe, or partly it is. I've had my own unique individual experiences, of course, obviously, but it's like I feel intuitively that some of my inner, just my inner like sensations or my inner experiences actually give a hint to the way that they might have experienced certain things. So it's like a peek into what they might actually be going through as well, because I come from them, if that makes any sense. So if I ever think about this more and I find out more about it, I might make another video where I elaborate a little bit more. But I just wanted to kind of share this idea and these thoughts, because it may sound completely stupid, it may sound like completely obvious, but for me it's like intuitively, as I've grown older, it is become something that I intuitively think about, that intuitively comes to me, that like maybe the way that I feel in a certain situation is actually how my mum feels or how my dad felt. Because it's like I'm coming from them, and it's like there's a thread between us. Um, so like I'm one part of the thread, they're another part of the thread, and their parents, it's we're another part of the thread, and so it's like obviously a lot of it is, it is just genetic, but it's just something that I feel like we don't really think about or discuss very often. Is that you know my inner world can give hints to my parents' inner world potentially, especially I would say if we do have similar temperaments or similar personalities. Some people, like I said, have very different personalities from their parents, but there's still something even in those people that actually can give a hint about how their parents might be. There's something that is passed down, obviously. There's something in you that is also like in them. So, just a few thoughts. I don't know if that was particularly articulate, but I just wanted to document these thoughts because I've been having them lately. So, it's like an intuitive sense of like, wow, I have more compassion now for my parents because of I recognize it even visually, like how my mum often behaves similarly to me in certain ways, and my dad did as well. So there's like an obvious component to it, but there's also like an intuitive component, like a more hidden component, that even if I don't see them acting in a certain way in a situation, I still know intuitively that they might actually be going through similar feelings, even if I don't see it. But sometimes you do see it, you literally see it, and other people might pick up on that as well. Like, wow, you act like your mom or you act like your dad. But it's something to kind of reflect on, I think, and to develop your compassion for your parents in that way. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more of these kinds of videos or videos about astrology or psychology, do subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you like this video, and leave a comment if you have any thoughts about this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.